got my bags packed on my bike, and yeah, we're gonna do a recovery ride, maybe talk about some business, but let's go ride the Schuylkill River Trail, 45 miles. The spooky forest of Wyoming. Check it out. Really cool place to ride when it's dark at night or in the wintertime. It's really fun. Okay, let me go somewhere else and talk. Runners everywhere. Good for them. Okay, so where was I? Injury, Schuylkill River Trail. Yeah, so we're doing 45 miles today, and we're going from outside Reading down through Wyoming Park. And we'll take the rail trail, Schuylkill River Trail, down to Pottstown, and then make our way back. And it's 45 miles, longest ride I've done in a year and a half. The park is really just a great place for like communities and people to get together and go for walks and be outside in nature together. And it's got a stream running through, and it's near Reading Hospital, and you got the Reading Museum nearby. So we'll get through this, and then we get on the SRT, the Schuylkill River Trail. Okay, so we made it through Wyoming Park, which is just outside of Reading, not too far. Beautiful park, people playing pickleball, which is always good to see these activities on Saturday mornings and stuff. So you know you're on the Schuylkill River Trail because you see a sign. Where's it at? There it is, there's a sign, Schuylkill River Trail. And so you go past Reading Museum, all the sculptures and stuff, past the Reading Hospital, and then you come down this road. Now you have a choice to go either to the north, I'll call it north, but going in a westerly direction. There's still the Schuylkill River Trail until you get further down, and it's called the Union Canal Trail. Or we go further down, we go east, and that to me is the rail trail, or what they call the SRT, the Schuylkill River Trail. So as we head down to Pottstown, which is like a 23-mile trip, I'm going to talk about many different things, but mostly my comeback and trying to come back from this massive injury I had. So here's an interesting sight on the Schuylkill River Trail. Behind me we have the 222, which is very loud, and a cemetery. So there's a little marker up there, but basically they had this cemetery went out where the freeway was. They had to like exhume all the dead bodies and relocate them to put in the freeway. Okay, so if you've been following me, you know I've been recovering for an injury for like 14 months. And we choose to ride, or at least I choose to ride on Schuylkill River Trail because it's just really, it's a river trail, it's a rail trail, and it's flat. So what that means for me is that no hard pushing on the uphills to hurt my knee, and I can get like 45 miles in, easy miles to help rehab my knee so I can do some bigger adventures to show everybody on YouTube. So the key for me so far has just been patience. You gotta have a lot of patience, and don't overdo it, and in time it will come. Like today, I'm actually feeling really good. First time on the bike, I'm feeling awesome. So I can't wait. We'll see how it ends up at the end, since I haven't ridden this long in a year and a half. Okay, enough about my injuries. Let's talk about the Schuylkill River Trail, the Greenway, the Union Canal Trail, the Thune Trail, so many trails. It was confusing when I came here. I moved here like 9 years ago, understanding this trail network. But basically, we have an old railroad track, or rail trail, or railroad track turned into a rail trail that goes all the way to Philadelphia. Now, not in its entirety, we use segments of it. So that's where we're heading down, maybe to Pottstown, which is like 1/3 of the way. This is the most sketchiest part of the Schuylkill River Trail, without a doubt. It's 724, and you got like a blind turn up here, and people in Pennsylvania, like it's 45. They like to go about 125 around that turn, and so when you're out there, you're like a sitting duck. It's a very dangerous crossing, right?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Dangerous crossing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Okay, we try to sprint across and not get killed. I'm gonna be like Frogger. So not all of the Schuylkill River Trail is actually on a trail. There are some roads that you have to go down, so it's not a continuous trail. And then there's some more roads when you get closer to Philadelphia, and then you're just on the road. But for the most part, the roads that you are on are not busy roads. So they're really nice to ride on in between being on the trail. So let's talk about the history of this a little bit. So up ahead, we have almost like 4 or 5 miles of perfectly straight trail, which was actually where the railroad was. And so before there was the SRT here, there was the railroad. And the railroad came in for major transport out of Philadelphia, you know, the early 19th century. And the two major railroads you had two of them in this area in Reading, which is Reading Railroad, and Philadelphia Railroad, or maybe it was Pennsylvania Railroad. But anyways, at that time, there was a lot of railroad companies. Everywhere. Different names, different companies, going different places. So eventually, one of the railroads got bought out by the other one, and we didn't need 2 railroad tracks that the 2 companies were maintaining. So basically, 2 railroads become 1 railroad, and you got an extra set of tracks you don't need anymore. And in the 70s, they started turning that into the Greenway trail system and expanding it ever since. But before trains, you had a canal system. So along the trail, the SRT, Schuylkill River Trail, I don't know if this is the remnants of a canal, but you'll have things like this, and there'll be markers of what used to be a canal, what used to be the major form of transportation before the trains came in. And along the Schuylkill River, there was a canal system that helped move coal and supplies from the coal regions of Pennsylvania down to the city areas and the steel mills and stuff like that, closer to Philadelphia. And before the canal system was in place, the early settlers in the 1600s renamed the river to the Schuylkill River, which means hidden river in Dutch or Deutsch, I think Dutch. So that's basically the history of the trail system. All right, made it out to Sly Fox Brewing Company. Boy, it's getting hot. So maybe that's another 2 miles to get here from the trail. And yeah, so I'll just maybe get Coke or something, maybe I get something to eat, and then I'll head home, and that's the day. But before we end it, I'll talk a little bit about business, and then I gotta get home. Okay, I'm back on the trail, and just came back from Sly Fox, got something to eat. Maybe 35 miles in, feeling good, but I wanted to talk about the business side because some of what I'm doing is also sharing the business side of trying to start a company in the bicycling industry or the fitness industry or the outdoor industry, however you want to categorize it. And I'm going to sit down and do this and so I can move graphics and stuff. So when we look at Grava, we are trying to do 3 things. We are trying to do clothing, branding, bicycle bags, and bicycles. Those are the 3 primary areas. And they're all come with different difficulties, and without unlimited funds, it's kind of impossible to really run or start up with 3 product lines. And so the branding and the clothing are good. We have that under control. That is, you know, ready to go. And the way we do our clothing with the direct-to-film transfers, we can do our logos and stuff on any material. We have no limitations. We can even do it on leather, which means we can pretty much print for anybody. So we're moving down that road. The bicycle bags are a little bit more difficult because when you're looking at manufacturing or starting a company, you really, and you're selling a product that's not a virtual product, because that's probably the easiest thing to sell, like a handbook or an how-to guide. But when you're selling something somebody actually purchases and then puts or uses in some way. You know, if you're not making it yourself, you're really moving down from you, the seller, who's working with the manufacturer to put your vision forward. So you have that manufacturer who then needs to procure supplies from a supplier, who then needs to procure supplies from somebody who then takes raw materials and puts them together, who may even then need to procure supplies from a raw material producer. So as you go down that chain, there's all these problems that can occur, which we're experiencing right now with bicycle bags. We have a manufacturer, we're working with them closely through designs and modifying designs, and we're prototyping bags, but they're having issues with the actual producer of the materials, not the raw materials, but the materials. And same thing goes with bicycles. As we're moving down this bicycle journey, you know, I could have somebody else produce bicycles in the Americas, but you know, the further I remove myself from the manufacturing process, the more you can have difficulties in getting something to the customer. So that's kind of where we're at. You know, as I was discussing, you know, thinking about it and discussing like coming back easy from an injury and having patience, it's the same way with business. With business, really, in the beginning, you have to have patience. Like starting a business is easy. It's really easy to start a business. It's really easy to close a business. But having that perseverance, after you start the business, to work through it, that is the difficult part. That is where most people fail. And we are working through those issues now. And they are what they are. There's really, you have to have patience. Like me, I'm at 35 miles in my total ride. I still got 15 or 20 more to go. And I have to have patience. You know, my knee's feeling great, but I have to have patience in my recovery. And the same thing with business. I need to have patience. So that's where we're at with the business journey, is we're having some issues at the bicycle bag front. We're not getting enough bicycle bags in, and it's really hard to find a manufacturer of bicycles. So, you know, with all of these, there's options. I love solving problems. Could we make bicycle bags in the USA instead of Latin America? I think we could. Could we make bicycles in the USA instead of Latin America? I think we could. But I would prefer to try at least to use some Latin American manufacturing first to see if we can save some money with labor costs, provide people a higher quality product in the end. But yeah, without me rambling too much, you know, that's generally what's going on with the business. You know, in the beginning, we had this great arc up of friends and family buying things, and then we've had this great arc down where nobody's buying anything for the past couple of weeks. And that's just the beginning of the business journey. Nobody knows who Grava is, and I don't even have enough bicycle bags to sell very many anyways. I have clothing, I can do clothing, I can make a ton of clothing, but you know, it just takes time. It's part of the process. So we got to work through it. It's going to take a year, maybe 2 years till we're profitable, but you know, I am ready for that journey. I'm ready for that struggle, and because I believe in what we're doing. And I did what we call an intelligence preparation of the business space for this project, my IPBS, and I may just share that with everybody, and you can tell me if I'm full of crap or what, but I went through and studied as much as I could study about business in Asia, geopolitics, macro environments, and I'm kind of trying to position myself to at least take advantage of that to a certain aspect. Whether it comes to fruition or not, who knows, but we will see. Anyways, I am headed home. Talk to everybody later. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press that like button, press that subscribe button. Really helps me out and the company out and the people that I work with. Grow an audience and let people know who Grava is. Okay, I made it back to the Reading Museum, only 5 miles to go. Boy, the heat like cranked up to like 10 and the humidity. But cycling is really just about willpower and fuel and hydration. So there's a stream and I may go get in it to cool down because I am burning up. But I went to the museum. Actually, they had a root beer for $1.50, which is not bad for a museum. Almost there.
We go down to the river, whether a saint or a sinner, leave all our ties to the giver. We all go down to the river, lay me down when the night falls, give our bones when the time calls. Oh, my brother, my sister.
Okay, cooled off and back home. Almost there. Okay, made it home, and yeah, some rain clouds on the horizon. It's raining a little bit right now. I was really hoping it was gonna rain on me. I just wanted to dump down on me and cool me off. Not worried about like my stuff because I got my Grava bags and they're all waterproof. So my drone, everything, camera equipment's all fine. But 48 miles maybe, which is not bad. Coming back, which I'm really, even though I'm super tired and the humidity got me, I would say this, no knee pain except on the climbs, which there wasn't very many. So huge success, 48 miles. It's a comeback. All right, I need to eat something and recover. Bye.